This YouTube channel is actually pretty old. I posted my first video, I think it was around 2009, 2010, something like that. It was when vlogs didn't exist. It was just, if you did a track day, you'd try and film something, you'd just post it like uncut, nothing like that. It was just like the in-car. So a lot of the early ones were like, I don't know, once every couple of months when I did a track day. I only started posting consistently when I got the VN, to be honest. That's when I started doing every week, and I was off work for a very long time because of COVID. That's when the videos got consistent and I really tried to push them. And look, I've been asked multiple times, why don't you have merch? That's when I did some stickers and stuff. Look, I was I'll be honest, very scared to invest the money into doing something like that, just because I didn't think I would get that back, so it was kind of a waste. But the stickers did really well. I'm like, you know what? A couple of weeks ago, I'm like, let's just trial a tee, like a proper merch, not stickers. Stickers don't really cost that much. So I decided to do the OG logo, the original logo, without the 93 in the back, and I got rid of the Safiro out of it. So that is this logo here, and I am proud to say my first tee. So this is it here. That's the original Mindy J logo. This is on a large black tee. So this is my first like trial. I would like to do, I've got a few ideas and things already in the process to do other tees that are a bit more, you know, design involved. But I thought I'll do a small run of the OG logo. I don't know whether I'll do these again. I think I'll just do this first batch, and as they sell, that's it. I did just a post on Instagram. This is the first time I'm saying anything on YouTube, and that was yesterday. So I've got a whole heap of orders here to go out. It actually feels really good that like people actually want to buy something to do with my YouTube channel. It feels really good inside, to be honest. I almost shed a tear. But yeah, so I have small, medium, large, and extra large ready to go. These larges are actually flying out the door. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of larges before anything else. I should have ordered more, and probably no smalls. Small is my size, like it's actually perfect fit for me. I tried a small one and it is spot on for me. So if you've met me and you're my size, the small is a-okay. But if you want one of these, I tried to price them pretty good. If you're local to me, or if you're going to a car meet or something that I'm going to, 35 bucks and I'll give you a tee, or delivered anywhere in Australia, I'm doing them for 45. So, and you know, a big chunk of that is the postage, clearly, and a big chunk of that, like I had to post them to me, so I don't make much on these, but it does help. So if you would like to support the channel, this is the first ever Mindy J t-shirt, and I'm pretty proud. So anyway, let's get into the video. I'm just coming to the end of this about 3-hour ordeal to get all the overspray off this car over a few nights, an hour at a time. And I thought I would test out my newest purchase, which is one of these microphones. Because one of the things my cameras, pretty much every camera I have, is lacking is sound quality, especially when you film from far away. And with a microphone, you should be able to hear me exactly the same whether I'm filming from here or even as far away as this. So hopefully this makes the videos just that little bit better, and they're also very good for doing like engine bay sounds, exhaust sounds, because they got magnet and stuff on them, so I can stick them pretty much anywhere. Engine bay, rear bar, boot, stuff like that. And while I've got the microphone, hopefully it'll pick up exactly what this paint sounds like. And this was as smooth as a baby's bottom before. So hopefully it picks this up. It's like absolute sandpaper, but it's pretty much done. I just got to go over it with the buff, wax it, and it should be back to how I had it before. Thank God. My God, listen to the glass. So after weeks and weeks of trying to find time to get a wheel alignment for the Crown, since I did those ball joints in the front, the steering was up the shit. I thought I got it pretty good, like with the tape measure and stuff like that, but turns out it had 8mm total toe in the front and one side double what the other side had. So now it's all good, 0.8 each side, and steering wheel's straight again, and it's not darting all over the road, so thank God for that. I actually need to do this on the Evo too. I really need to get a wheel alignment. but I'm now on my way to pick up a very cool part that has been 3D printed for me, and I will explain when I have this part in my hands. And something else that just came in the mail today, which I'm pretty pumped about, is, I don't know if you remember a few crown videos ago, I showed the brochure that I got. And a few people pointed out, that's not the exact model that you've got. Rah, rah, rah. I'm like, all right, challenge accepted. So I found, on Yahoo Auctions of course, the Crown Athlete instead of the Royal Saloon. JZS171 Crown brochure. So this is my exact model of car, and this thing, I don't know how there's so many of these brochures going around that are in absolutely immaculate condition. And it even had in the front here this sales sheet, which I did with my Translate app with the camera, and it actually shows you the recommended retail price, and they're all about the same, 3.7 million yen, which is about 40 grand, which is surprising. I thought these would have been a bit more expensive than that brand new, but that is very cool to have. It has all the sales taxes and everything on it, like transmission choice, engine choice, all that stuff. So that's very, very cool to have. And there we go. There is the car. So that's a Crown Athlete, my exact car. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a photo of the two-tone in this exact brochure, which is a bit of a shame, but that's all right. Engine choices, wheels, interior, a black leather in the V. So mine is just a Crown Athlete. So think of it as a Berliner. No, think of it as a Calais, and the Athlete V is a Calais V. That's the best way to explain it. The stock head unit and stuff like that. The coolest page is definitely this one with all the cool little options, like the baby seat, the wind deflector for the sunroof, the CD stacker, and all these little bits and pieces. The wing, which this car actually has, that's off a V. The front lip, which this has, off a V. And when I won this, the good thing is with Buyee, you've got 30 days. Once this arrives at Buyee, I have 30 days to consolidate it with other items that I've bought. So if I buy something else, I can consolidate the postage, so I'm not paying like $30 to post this, and then maybe I buy another one a week later and I pay $30 again to get it here, and I can just put two together and pay $30 once. So I went on the hunt just to buy anything really, because I didn't want to waste my money on postage for one brochure, and I actually got really lucky here. So I found this Nismo brochure, which is also in immaculate condition. But I did not know at the time, because if you look at this, in the photos, this looked like the whole front page was scrunched up. But I paid like 50 cents for this. So I thought, it's still cool anyway, even though the front's all damaged. But it's just the image. It's perfectly immaculate. So this is a late 80s Nismo old logo catalogue. So it has all the strut braces for the cars of that time. So I'm talking GDR, even R31 was still around, Pulsar, stuff like that. The shocks, Nismo clutch, Nismo diff, Nismo brakes, Nismo exhaust, clusters, gear knobs. The steering wheels, which is very, very cool. The factory option fog lights. The wheels. And heaps of cool GDR stuff. Like the oil cooler, the side mount intercoolers, spoilers, S13 stuff, all the stickers. So all old logo stuff with all the part numbers and prices, which is very cool. So that's a very cool brochure that I won for 50 cents and just threw it in the same postage with the other one. So if you remember, I had the tail lights and the back garnish and everything out of the Crown here, and I want to move to the front. I've had the bar off, but I've never been able to get the headlights out. I had these trims out. As you can see here, they just sort of pop out. but I've never been able to get the headlights out. I did try once and I was unsuccessful, so I just put everything back together. I really want to get the headlights out to clean them and clean behind there, and also pull just a couple of things out on this side. I've done this side already when I had a lot of the stuff off. It's all nice and clean, like as in paint wise over this side, but this side is a bit shitty. So I'm gonna give it a second go trying to get these headlights out and see if we can give it a nice clean behind here. Aha! Whoever at Toyota designed these fucking plugs, stuff you. Got them out. Jesus, what a nightmare all these plugs were. Why is there so many plugs for one headlight? But Jesus Christ. So I'm gonna just push all this sort of stuff to the side. Whatever I can pull off, I'll pull off on this side. Clean everything. It's pretty average behind here. We'll see how good we can get it. And the headlight themselves, I'll clean all this stuff up as good as I can get it and see how we go. Oh my god, my fingers are killing me, but everything I can sort of unclip, unscrew, unbolt. I did cleaned everything down here. Actually, there's a lot of stuff I'm like, I hope I know where this goes, because that's the problem with stock engine bays. There's a lot of crap and it's hard to figure out where the hell it went. So lucky I got a video before to reference, but all behind here is all clean now. God, there's a lot of crap on this side. Even headlights, gave the buckets a really good clean, so they all look good. The lids to all the fuse boxes. There's 1,010 mils to put all this back together, so leave me to it. I know it's a bit more of a classic car thing, but I love when I pull apart cars and you find markings like this. Like this looks like chalk or pencil or something like that. And like, why is that there? Like, what does that 4 with the circle around it mean? That really sort of interests me. I know it doesn't really matter on a car like this, you know, if you're pulling apart like an XY GT or like a VK Brock or something like that and you find original markings, like it's a huge thing. But I don't know, I just kind of like seeing it. Like, it makes me think, like, what does it mean? Like, why is it there? Anyway, just a little thought that I had while pulling crap apart and cleaning it. And that is it, all back together, headlights and everything. Now, to the untrained eye or just people who don't give a shit, this will look exactly the same, especially this side. But is all nice and clean, as much as I can sort of get to without majorly disassembling this engine bay, which I'm not going to do. I'd love to get all this crap off. I don't know if it comes up. It's like this dull, dark. It doesn't come off with like Prepsol, polish, nothing like that is getting it off. I'd love to do there, but it's about as good as it's gonna get, guys, and my back is killing me. It's like I'm getting too old for this, to be honest. Just leaning over engine base. I need a hoist so bad. But anyway, on to the next thing. Now, if you remember a few videos ago, I fitted this 8-button Haltech keypad and this Haltech can gauge into the crown using an existing panel that I had here hidden behind this little crown pouch. Now, the unfortunate thing was it had 3 gauges there before, and I had to sort of dodgy it up to make it work with this stuff, and it obviously didn't look the best because it didn't cover the holes from the old gauges. And the shit thing was, I don't know anyone that 3D prints or anything like that, so I was kind of stuck and just sort of left it for another time. In the meantime, Chris from TRL Industries gave me a message and said he could definitely help me out. Now, TRL specializes in 3D scanning, custom part design, reverse engineering, prototyping using 3D printing, and even has access to CNC machines and laser cutting. I'm going to put his socials down below, so go check it out. Does a lot of interesting parts, especially for E-Series Falcon owners. So what Chris did is I gave him my keypad, my gauge, and the old surround. He scanned everything, recessed both the items into the panel so that my little pouch here would close again, and sent it back out to me. Now, after a few little changes just to get it fit really, really nice, Chris has now sent me the final product, and this is what we have. So here's what Chris printed for me. As you can see, nice textured finish with the gauge and the keypad recessed in so that this will close like normal and hide it, even with his logo on the back, and provisions for wiring and everything to fit snug with the plugs and stuff back here. So I'm going to put all this back together and see how good this fits, and hopefully this thing closes. And there we have our finished product, recessed in absolutely beautifully and perfectly fits out the back for the plugs, ready to go. And that could not be any more snug if we tried. That popped in absolutely beautifully and does not move.
Noise.
Does it look good? And bloody beauty. So again, thanks to Chris from TRL Industries. Click down below on all his socials and check out what he can do.
Words like